So, Amma, tell me about when you first came to this country.
When we first came to this country, we had just gotten married. I think it was January the 13th, 1974, and we were married on December the 29th.
Uh-huh.
So Anna was really ill. He had a severe case of the flu. So he was barely functioning when we got on the plane. And then he barfed all the way to the United States. And we came to Kansas City. And from there, we didn't have the money to go on a plane, so we took a bus. I think we went on a train. We went on a train from Kansas City to Garden City. And nobody knew we were coming, but one of Anna's sweet co-workers, they knew we were coming. They knew we were coming, and so Jim and Kim Witt, they came to the station.
Uh-huh.
So we got out of the car.
These are friends of yours from...
He was Anna's co-worker.
Okay.
So we got out of the train, and by this time Anna had a really high temperature, and we go out, and there was a blizzard.
You'd never been to the U.S. This is your first time?
No, I had been as a student at Florida State.
That's right.
So just after we got married.
Okay.
So we come out in the blizzard, and Anna had parked his car. I think it was a Ford LTD, one of the big boats. And he was so happy because the car started right away.
Uh-huh.
And I couldn't drive at the time. And then we looked and the tires were flat.
Oh, no.
So there was a raging blizzard, and so Anna and Jim changed the tire.
There's just one flat.
One flat. They changed the tire, but unfortunately they didn't check the spare before they changed it, so they just exchanged one flat for the other. And by this time, my fingers were frozen, Anna's fingers were frozen. So Jim said, I'll just go to the office and get a car, the office car, and you can borrow it for the afternoon. Anna worked in a small office. So he got the car, and I couldn't drive, so Anna, no matter how ill he was, he had to drive, so we drove straight to the emergency room. And we had to wait, and then he was really sick. So Jim drove me back.
Like really sick, like hallucinating?
Hallucinating, throwing up, high fever. So Jim came, and he got us, and he took us to... Anna had rented a little single wide trailer because he was trying to save money, a mobile home. So we go
in
there.
In a trailer park?
Yeah, in a trailer park, a trashy trailer park. So we enter the trailer, and first of all, it's cold. The pilot light had gone out. There was no heat. And I looked at it, and it was typical, like a bachelor in a hurry type of thing. There were dirty dishes everywhere, paper plates everywhere, spaghetti sauce, I remember, on the sink.
Do you remember how much this cost to rent it?
I don't remember. But there was no heat. There was no power. Everything was out. So I said, what are we going to do? So I had the number of the owner because I forget, I written it down, Anna had told me. So I called him, and this being Kansas and people being so nice, he said, just check into a hotel. I'll take care of everything and send me the bill for the hotel. Nice. So Jim drove us to, or maybe Anna drove us, I can't remember. We went to one of the local motels, and then Anna collapsed. He was out for the next 10 days.
10 days?
10 days he was ill.
Oh my God.
So I would tell the front desk, just keep an eye on the guy in that room. And Jim and I went, and we got the phone connected. We got the pilot light.
That's really bad flu to be sick for 10 days.
Well, yeah, I know. I think he was just worn out because he'd been working for 6 months and didn't have any time off. Then he came the day before the wedding. The wedding was exhausting. Came right back, so he was just exhausted, I think.
So
anyway, and I remember Jim said to me, he said, I'm so glad you're not a little girl from an Indian village who doesn't talk to men and all. I don't know what I would have done. And he said, if it were Kim, she'd have run back to her mother. And I said, I would too, except there's an ocean between me and my mother. There's no way I can get over there.
Were you in contact with your family at this point? Like on the
No,
phone?
because we didn't have direct dial. You had to call the operator, place a call, and then the operator would call you back after she made the call.
This is before the internet.
Yes,
there
before
was
the
time
internet.
Before the internet.
Yeah, smoke signals. Anyway, then you had to sit around waiting for the operator to call you back, and it was $12 a minute. We didn't have $12.
So you really weren't connected like
no,
you are
I was
now.
not connected to my parents, to my family at all. And I knew nobody except my counselor in Florida and now Jim. And so, of course, Anna was really sick, and I would say, how are you feeling? And he'd snap at me. And remember, we were just married. This was supposed to be our honeymoon. And he'd go, "How do you think? I'm ready to party," or something like that. He'd snap at me. So then I'd go over to the next room and cry. So anyway, after 10 days, he felt better. So by this time, of course, we'd moved back into the trailer. And I was just bored out of my skull.
Yeah.
Because I had nothing to do. I had surrendered my practicum visa, my F1 visa. So I was a dependent student, so I couldn't work.
Why did you have to surrender your visa?
Because my name changed and I got married, so I came under my married name, and it's complicated.
So you had a period where you couldn't work, basically, legally.
Until I applied for a green card or something like that.
When did you get your green card?
I didn't get my green card until Ajit was ready to go to college. I mean, I had my green card. I didn't get my citizenship until Ajit was in college.
No, not your citizenship, but I mean...
Green card just during the Vietnam War when it was winding down 5 years later, because you have to be a resident for 5 years before you can get a green card.
Pardon me.